To be honest, it doesn't matter if I start off hitting. I just have to see one fall. But I mean, if I don't hit my first one is fine because the next one's going in. And so, just staying confident. And I mean, that game, I hit I think four. I hit a couple in a row in the second half, and I had I think 24 at half, and so I was like, I'm just gonna keep shooting until coach takes me out. And so I kept shooting. And
Yeah.
the funny part is that my guys, like the bench warmers, they wouldn't come out of the game for me.
Right.
They like it was the best. Like we have the best. We're a very tight team, and it was awesome to see them literally sacrifice their time to just let me keep shooting. And so, I mean, when you shoot as many threes as I did that game, you're bound to make a lot of them. So yeah.
Early in November, he had 4 games in a row where he hit 7 threes in 4 games in a row. And a
Oh my
lot of
goodness.
games, hitting 7 threes in a game is a school record probably for most schools. And he
Right.
did it 4 times in a row against great competition. And a couple of those, I know one of them, like you said, he hit 5 threes in the first quarter. The game ended up being a blowout, and he didn't
Right.
play in the fourth quarter at all. And so when you can hit five in a quarter, it lets me know you probably have the ability to hit 14 in a game. It's just, is your coach going to be a nice enough guy to let you
Hmm.
get those minutes? And I've never been nice enough to let him do that. But as he said, his teammates, we talk about joy, Jesus, others, yourself. His teammates put him in front of themselves, and they were refusing to go in the game. I mean, literally, I'd say go in for Duncan. They say I'm not. They would go to the scores table, and a different person would walk off the court so that Duncan wouldn't come out. I mean, I called 2 timeouts. Like, all right, he's done it. And they're like, no, he's staying, coach, because when he was on that heater before hitting 7 in 4 games, he scored 40, which was a school record. Then he
Hmm.
scored 42 the very next game, so broke his own record. And so they were saying, hey, just let him beat his own record. He's going to get it pretty easy. Um, and he beat it. And they're like, well, he's close to 50. Just let him get 50. And then once he got 50, they were like, I mean, it was truly impressive at that point, and we couldn't stop it. It was just like a waterfall.
Right.
So he's saying he's shooting that many. He went 14 for 24. That's 58%.
Hmm.
So 58% when the other team assistant coach, I can hear her over there, and she's like, "You are all guarding him.
Yeah.
Everyone guard him." So he can be humble, but we got to brag on him a little bit because, and she's the one that told me after the game. Uh, she said it was spectacular. I
Yeah.
mean, when the opposing coach says, "Hey, shooters got to shoot," and I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry," and she's like, "Shooters got to shoot, man," and that was just spectacular. So we
Hmm.
all felt awe, we all felt inspired, and I think some people don't realize how great of a feat it truly was. The greatest moment I had with something like that was Makai Mason went for 40 against TCU,
Hmm.
and we thought that was insane. It was very similar to Duncan's night, where I don't know how many
Hmm.
threes Makai hit in that game, but it felt like every time he let it go. And Makai was coming across half court and letting it fly, very similar to Duncan was at some point. Um, Coach Drew just calling every set in the world. And I remember that moment. That moment's one of my favorite Baylor memories. And 40 in a college game of 40 minutes, we all thought that was insane. So a high school game where the clock was running in the second half.
Mm.
So I I don't even know how it's really possible, to be honest, to get up that many points because he had a bunch in the second half with the clock running. There's just not enough time. Um, but you got to make the shots, and he was making them double, triple teamed, step backs, what I would consider bad shots. But when he's on, you just got to let him go.
At halftime, I had 24, and
Right.
I think that's when I had told jokingly. The funniest part is I had told my friend Caleb that I was gonna have 14 threes that game, and I don't even know why I said it, and then it just happened. But I had told Jane I was going for 50 jokingly because I had 24 at half, and then I just started like hitting everything, and I was kind of like not thinking, to be honest, in that second half. I was just kind of just didn't even know what was happening. I just couldn't miss. So yeah. It's not really fair to be honest. I mean, we all love basketball and everyone. It seems like everybody can shoot. To be honest, even our bigs, other than maybe like Jake, but like when
Right.
everyone can shoot and everyone has a handle and just has fun, it's just it's not really fair to the teams we play against. So it's super fun and it's special for sure.
Yeah, I'd say what you had 4 assists in that game? Four. He had 4 or 5 assists while
Wow.
scoring 66. So he's accounting for again,
Hmm.
5 points or so. Because I know two of them were kick out threes to Sawyer, so he's drawing the help, and Sawyer hit two
Hmm.
threes. Alex, since we've been in district, is shooting at a high level, and then we can't miss the fact that Jaden scored his 1,000th point this night.
Right.
So we
Yeah,
shout
yeah,
out Jaden, and
yeah.
Absolutely.
so Jaden got to 1,000 and Duncan had to outshine him, but Jaden had 9 assists. Jaden had 9 assists as well in the game, and so sharing the sugar is one thing we pride ourselves in. Had
Okay.
on the 14 threes because I shared this. I was doing as much research as I could, and we can't figure out the Texas stats yet. But me being from Kentucky, Kentucky, basketball is king, and so I looked it up
Hmm.
and saw 14 threes in a game. Where would it rank all time in the state of Kentucky? And it would be third all time. So again, I was saying when people don't realize what this would be. And then I lived in Ohio. I actually played in Ohio. I was like, okay, let's see how Duncan compares to me in Ohio. And it would be second in Ohio. And LeBron hit 11 in a game. I was shocked LeBron
Holy
got 11
smokes.
in a high school game. But Duncan's 14 would put him second on the list. And then I already mentioned Michael, so I was like, let's look at North Carolina, the blue blood basketball state, and he'd be tied for first place in the state of North Carolina. And Texas
Wow.
probably, I mean, there's some unbelievable players that come through Texas, and the records are probably a little higher. But when you're thinking about North Carolina, Ohio, Kentucky basketball, the talent that comes out of there, and
Hmm.
his feet will be right up there at the top of one, two, or three in those states. I think people just need to recognize it was special and it was awesome, and so we wanted to celebrate him for that. One thing we say is like a three-level score, and so Duncan's already has the school record in free throws too, and so he shoots like 87% this year. He's at 82% from the free throw line. So he also went 6 for 7 in the game we're talking about, and so being able to get to the rim and Duncan's ability to finish over dudes much bigger, whether it's off 2 feet and taking a bump or sneaking it in with the inside hand or getting to a reverse. So that's where it starts is getting to the rim and then getting to the free throw line. That would be my second of the three level. We don't shoot a lot of mid range, and
Right.
I'm holding him back because his mid range numbers are actually he's the only one on the team that I think is pretty elite. I think it's almost perfect, but he's only taking like 5.
Gotcha.
But we don't shoot mid range, and I've been on him. Hey, you got to shoot more threes. You got to shoot more threes, and
Hmm.
because I'm like, it's just worth more points. And so I was like, just change your mid range into a 3-pointer. And that's what he's done. And see, you get to score 66, right, Duncan? And so
Yeah.
if he takes 14 mid range, we're only talking 28 points. And
Right.
so um, the three-level score, if you have the ability at mid range, the way the game is, just scoot it back a couple feet. And he was scooting it back and back and back till his last one was from the volleyball line. And so the shooters do shoot. And I think
Hmm.
that's what makes a great score is his patience, his pacing in the game has really improved this year. And so the defenders are just always in trouble because he's not playing at one speed. They don't know if he's going to pull up. They don't know if he's going to drive. And so that shiftiness and just patience doesn't have to be the quickest, but they just don't know what's coming and they're in trouble.
I've always been undersized, so I have to kind of hang or I guess brace the contact and learn how to finish. And that's like he was saying, Coach Anderson from last year, Coach Combs and Coach Pitts and all our coaches that just that kind of just foul you as hard as they can because then you have to learn to finish through that. And just playing against bigger competition and better competition because um, yeah, and then also watching just like people I don't know or like college level athletes do it because watching Keontae George finish at the
Mm.
rim is kind of where I learned how to like take the contact and then finish it. Obviously, I'm nothing like Keontae George, but it's just you know you take it from the people that are better than you. So
Duncan's obviously extremely gifted, um, but I think when your older brother is Jaden Ogden too, I think we got to give Jaden a shout out that like Duncan has grown up. Um, kind of looking up to Jaden in a sense, and then now it's Duncan's time to shine. And so I think they were both excited for this year to do it together. And I think Duncan's just had great guards in front of him, starting with Tristan and Creighton. And so he's had guys that are really good. That he got, like you said, he likes to compete, and so he's competing with them at school. He's competing with his brother at home, and so it just creates this culture of winners, honestly. And so Duncan was going to be ready. We said from Coach Anderson to me. I know it's bad when I play one on one with my guys and they start to beat me, and not many of them have, but Duncan has done it pretty regularly at this point. And
Hmm.
the competitive side of me hates it, and we get into some jawing a little bit, and it's fun. But as a coach, the coach side of me is like, "Uh-oh, everybody better look out."
Right.
Because he's way better than me. He's beating our assistants. He's beating his brother, and so he's gonna beat anybody on the court.
it really was started with probably my brother Jaden. We grew up competing together, and from upward, you know, basketball in Michigan. Uh, it really it started with him, and then you know Tristan and Creighton, and just having to fight for a spot on that team as a freshman. Uh, and I mean, I loved it. And then last year, even with Anderson, I mean that dude, he's the best trash talker you'll meet. And so I mean, just learning the mental aspect of the game as well as the skill work that it you know that it takes to put in it. It's yeah, it's all those guys. To be honest, it's not it's I'm blessed for sure with the people around me.
Yeah, we're still a very process oriented team, um, but we can't shy away from the fact of what happened last year. We started the year. Grant McCaslin had a good quote, and he was talking about somebody asked him, "Do you watch the games back?" I think I might have mentioned it, and he's like, "Of course I watch our NCAA tournament game back because I want to learn from it, and we're going to get
Hmm.
better." And it is motivation. It's a reminder. And so even though we're very process I think our guys are better about that. You saw like Rappaport beat us in our own gym, and nobody had ever done that, and they were going to take care of that. And then Yavna beat us in the state championship. They come to our place. They were going to take care of that. And so a few years back, we called it the redemption tour because we had a quite a few teams pick us off, and the next year we went back and got them all.
Hmm.
This year it's just more about like being who we are and building on that. But there is a little bit of a chip, and I think that edge. I mean, you talk about Michael. Michael would create an edge if he had to, and I think these guys just are kind of those edgers like that.
Uh, yeah, we know what we're capable of as a team, and so um, to be honest, there's been you know highs and lows in the season, but we use everything as a opportunity to learn, like Coach said. Um, so we don't really see anything as a loss. We see it as a growth opportunity, and we're excited to see where we can make it. So yeah.